Right, ladies and gentlemen, the next generation starts now. Let's check out the Xbox Series X. So yeah, after months of waiting, the Xbox Series X is finally here. And I've been following this since it was very first announced, and I've been super hyped about this. More hyped than the PS5, if I'm being perfectly honest, although I cannot wait for that one as well. But yeah, there's something about the Xbox Series X this generation. This is just ticking all of the boxes for me. No pun intended. It looks awesome. It looks a bit like a fridge, but it's all good. It's all good. I think it looks nicer than the PlayStation 5. It's obviously the most powerful console. And yeah, I'm hyped for it. I'm super hyped for it. The Xbox Series X has a custom AMD 8-core Zen 2 CPU, runs at 3.8 GHz. It's got a 12 teraflop AMD Radeon RDNA Navi drive. So a GPU, which obviously the big Navi is the big thing right now in the world of GPUs. Their benchmarks for the desktop versions have been absolutely killing it recently. So the fact this has got a big Navi GPU in it, that's absolutely awesome. And it's actually meant to be somewhere around the RTX 2070, 2080 range. So yeah, for $500, £450, this is pretty damn nice. It's going to run at 4K up to 120 frames a second, although you're very likely going to be seeing 4K 30, 4K 60, depending if you've got ray tracing on it. But yeah, there's a few games that are going to be 120 frames a second, such as Ori and The Will of the Wisp. It's going to be 4K 120 frames a second, but you are very likely going to be looking at 4K 30, 4K 60 if ray tracing's on and off. You probably will see a lot of 1080p 120 frames a second as time goes on. Right now, nothing's really implemented that, but as they sort of unlock the console more, learn to better optimize the games, and we will start to see a bit more of a performance mode like that. But yeah, super awesome. If we take a look at the box, take a look at the back, and man, that's a bit of a letdown. We've got the Halo Infinite on the back of the box, and it's not even the launch game. The game got delayed, which is super sad. Obviously, I'm assuming this was all designed before the game got delayed, and yeah, I really hope it's going to be good because I want to play Halo Infinite. But the good thing is we can actually play Halo Infinite and all of the first party games on Xbox Game Pass. They're really pushing that this generation, and starting today there's actually EA Play's library of games as part of Game Pass Ultimate, which coincidentally I've got, which means that I can enjoy all the games like Battlefront 2, Battlefield 5, FIFA 20, Skate 3 and so many more on there at no extra cost. So yeah, this is just going to be an ultimate gaming machine, I think, and I cannot wait to check this one out. So yeah, I think we should just do that. You don't need to hear me talk about the stuff anymore. Let's unbox it, let's check it out, let's see what it looks like, let's hook it up to the TV, and let's check out some games. So here we go. They've actually done it really nice this time. They've got a couple of tabs here which you just pull off. It's really annoying when you've got the sellotape going on and you've got to get a knife and cut through it, and it's just so much of a hassle. But yeah, it looks got a couple of tabs here. These hopefully should just come off. Don't rip the box because that would suck. Right, there we go. That's one down. We'll just place that there. So I don't know how this one is going to open yet, but we'll soon find out. I think it just opens up like, oh, there might be some on the bottom as well. I suppose at least they're protecting it. I don't think there is. Maybe it opens up. How the hell does this thing open up?
2 hours later.
Right, there we go. Finally got the box open. Got a little instruction manual here. Don't need that. Because I'm a man and I always try and figure things out on my own. It's going to go wrong. Then I'm going to ask my camera person to fix it for me because no doubt I'll get something wrong here. But man, look at this. This is a nice box. This is nicer than most boxes that you get. Like, they've packed this thing in but still made it look awesome. Love it. I absolutely love this. Right, let's take all these out. Oh man, this thing's heavy. This thing is heavy. Oh, this looks really cool. This looks really, really nice there. All wrapped up nice with the cardboard. Power your dreams. Right, let's put this down. Is there anything else in the box that we're missing? There's going to be some cables and all that usual stuff. Man, they've just gone the whole shebang this time, man. This is actually one of the nicest boxes I think I've ever opened. Like, they've put a lot of effort into this. Like, they've gone for the premium here. Right, let's take out all this random stuff that will never go back in the box the way that it started. And what have we got in here? We've got HDMI cable. Is it 2.1? That'd be really cool if it was. I don't think it is. No, it's fine. It's just regular HDMI. We've got power supply. Obviously, we're going to need that. And last but not least, we have the controller. Now, one of the main disappointments this generation is the fact that Microsoft has not really updated the Xbox One controller with the Series X, and I suppose if it's not broke, don't fix it. However, the PlayStation 5 controller does look really nice. So, yeah, that is the Xbox Series X controller. Obviously, if you've got an Xbox One, you're going to recognise it. It looks very, very similar. The D-pad is slightly different. It's got the 8-way D-pad rather than the 4. And apart from that, looks exactly the same, except it's got a share button here. And you probably won't be able to see it. Obviously, you can't feel it for sure, but it's got a nice grip to it. Rather than being the smooth plastic, it's got the sort of raised sort of grip there, which really nice. The triggers feel really nice. It does feel nicer than the Xbox One controller, but obviously it's just a glorified Xbox One controller. But as again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So yeah, dig that a lot. But let's get rid of all this stuff and let's get into the main event. Let's see what the Xbox Series X actually looks like. No idea I'm going to put this at all. We'll just put that down there somewhere. Right, here we go, the moment we have all been waiting for. Get rid of that. I'm never packing this back up the way that it came in for sure, I'll say that. Grand reveal. Look, that's probably upside down. It's upside down. It is upside down. There we go. That is the Xbox Series X. Man, this looks nice. This looks nice. Got the Xbox logo there. I'm just gonna have the button that powers it on. Got the disc drive there. Very clean disc drive. Really do like that a lot. And then I'm assuming we've got obviously the USB port there. Not entirely sure what that button is for. I'm sure it's in the instruction manual if I bother to read it. I think it's the connectivity for the controller. That would make sense. Not that I can pair controls very well. Always an arse for doing that. Right, you've got the... I have no idea what the hell that is, but that's also on the back of the Series S, which makes the Series X look absolutely trash, but it's all good. On the back, we've got the storage expansion, which we'll get into in a second. We've got the HDMIs, we've got 2 USB super ports, super speed I think it is, and obviously we've got the Ethernet cable as well. And yeah, obviously we're not going to open this thing up or anything, but looks really nice. Looks really, really nice. It's actually one of the nicest consoles I've seen in a while. A lot of people took the piss out of it, saying that it looked like a fridge, which obviously it does, and Microsoft is actually making an Xbox Series X fridge, which I really want, but I don't know if they're going to release it to the general public, and if they do, we're getting an Xbox fridge. Just saying that one. But yeah, looks awesome. Looks nice in the PS5, don't care what anyone says. I love the sleek look to it. It's just a nice black box. Just clean. It's very clean, which is awesome. And right, obviously moving over to the storage expansion. Now this is one of the main downsides about the console in my opinion. You can see right here, you've got the storage expansion port. Now you've got a proprietary card which goes in there, and as of right now it's $219 for a 1TB card. And I've got to say, that is super expensive. That's like half the cost of the Xbox Series X just to buy a 1TB storage. You can't use USB hard drives like you could with the previous gen, although you can use them to play the previous gen games, just not Xbox Series X games. So yeah, if you want to expand your storage, especially with games getting 100, 200 gigabytes, it's going to be a very expensive endeavour, and obviously you can only have one at a time, and right now they are only 1TB in storage, so I imagine they'll come out with like bigger ones, but you might have to swap them about a bit. On the PlayStation 5 you can use your own NVMe drives, SSD drives, however right now the ones that can actually run the PS5 games are actually about $220 as well upwards, so as of right now it's about 6 2/3 which one you get, but storage always comes down in price, so probably over the next year or so we'll start to see them drop in price. However, the storage expansion for this may not drop in price, which means that long term it could be a lot more expensive to have a Series X over a PlayStation 5, but I don't know, if you sort of prefer the Xbox, it just kind of is what it is. Obviously we'll have to get one eventually, but I can see myself just uninstalling and reinstalling games quite a lot, because I don't want to spend 200 quid in a 1TB drive. That's a lot of money. But as I said, you can use external hard drives, the regular USB ones for Xbox One games, 360, Xbox original games, and obviously they can go up to like 8TB. So all your Xbox One games can just go on there. Just use the storage in the system itself for the Series X stuff. Yeah. Super cool. Overall, dig this a lot. Super excited that EA Play is now on Game Pass as well. That's going to be awesome. I cannot wait to download games like Battlefront 2, Skate 3, and that's going to be part of Game Pass for free. Yeah, dig it a lot. It's actually, I love this. I cannot express enough how much I love this console. I cannot wait to hook it up, get onto the dashboard, set it all up, install some games, and that's exactly what we're going to do now. So we're going to cut the next part of the video. I'm going to go on, hook it up, obviously put my account on, and then we'll come back and we will sort of check out what it looks like on the dashboard. And we'll see if we can get a game loaded up. Obviously it might take a while to install, but yeah, let's check this thing out. So right, I've gone through the long and boring process of setting up the new Xbox. Obviously, you've got to put your account in, you've got to set up your internet and all that stuff. And you can actually do it through the app though, which I thought was really cool. There's actually a way to do it. I kind of skipped over it though, which I kind of regret doing. But with the Xbox app, there's actually a button at the top of the screen where if you press it, you can set up a new console, and basically you just put the code in there. The code does pop up on screen at some point during the sort of beginning of the setup, but I kind of missed it and I skipped over it and I couldn't get back to it. And I think basically you put that code in and it basically just connects up your account straight away. You'd have to go through the passwords and stuff like that, which is super cool. But yeah, this is the dashboard of the Xbox Series X. As you guys know, if you've got an Xbox One, it looks just like an Xbox One dashboard. There's very little difference between them. Everything looks very, very similar. You've got the My Games and Apps, you've got the Windows Store, everything. You've got all the sort of like the thumbnail stuff, trying to promote stuff. You've got your groups as well. And yeah, everything looks exactly the same as it did with the Xbox One. So sort of familiar, yet slightly sort of just like streamlined a little bit. Everything just looks a little bit nicer. But yeah, overall very, very familiar. Everything is as is, exactly how you'd left it. Yeah, I don't know where my external hard drive is for my Xbox One of all the games on, so unfortunately I've got to install all the games that I want to play on the Series X itself. Bit annoying because it means I've got to wait a little bit longer to jump into some games. But I'll find the hard drive at some point. It's all good. But yeah, everything's all here. Is all my own games that I've got. All these random digital games that work on the Xbox Series X, from the Xbox One 360 and stuff like that. Not as many as I thought I'd have on here, to tell you the truth. But I've got a few games. I've got the Game Pass games, obviously all ready to go. We can just sort of jump onto any of these. All the Game Pass games work on the Xbox Series X. Everything, basically everything but the Kinect games from the Xbox One will work on the Series X. And obviously there's a large selection of Xbox 360 and OG Xbox as well. So yeah, everything's all here. I can download some new games to play. Some of them will be optimized, but I don't know which one specifically will be. I think there's actually a sign. There we go, the medium there. That's obviously not out yet. But when it's got the little XS logo, that means that it's optimized for the Xbox Series X. So it will be, I think it will run a little bit better, it will look nicer, maybe better frame rate, better resolution. No Man's Skies, obviously there, as you can see, if I download No Man's Skies, it will be the Xbox Series X version. So the frame rate might be nicer, the graphics going to look a bit nicer than the Xbox One version. But yeah, everything is largely the same. And obviously today, as I mentioned earlier, all of the EA Play games now on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which means that all these 90 games here, everything from OG games like Black, all the way to Xbox 360 games, the Battlefield games, you've got the Xbox One games, FIFA 20 is on there. Like, there's 90 new games there, plus 100 plus from Game Pass. And then obviously I've got my Games with Gold games as well. So I've got a lot of stuff to keep myself occupied with, but obviously the main one I'm going to be playing is Assassin's Creed, the new Valhalla. I believe it's like 60 hours long, so that should keep me going for a while. So I probably should get that installed and jump on that and give it a go. You might see some content about the game on the channel, not entirely sure yet. But obviously in the meantime, we're going to be waiting for the PS5, and yeah, I'm super hyped for that one. So yeah, let's wrap up this video. So right, there we go. That is the Xbox Series X. I'm so excited to play this. I cannot wait to deep dive into it. We've got Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I cannot wait to jump onto that and check this out. It's going to be super cool. And next week, we've got the PlayStation 5 coming out. It comes out on 19th of November here in the UK. Obviously, the US get it in for 12. Super annoying, not happy about that, but it is what it is. So obviously we've got to wait till the 19th to unbox the PS5. We're going to be doing that on the channel as well, and then we're going to be also comparing the two, Xbox Series X versus PS5, stuff like that. We're going to be, yeah, deep diving into both consoles. Going to be a lot of content on the channel, so if you're excited for next gen like I am, make sure you hit the like button to let us know you enjoyed this video, and obviously you want to see the PS5 as well. And also subscribe with those notifications on, because that is going to let me know that you guys want to see this, and you guys can come back next Thursday and see the PS5 be unboxed. And yeah, next generation is here and I am all for it. On that note, that is the end of the video. So my name is Doodles, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.